World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
This is Kia Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Good afternoon. Hope all is well. This is Tony Rogers, your host for Urbanology, the Art of War. And it's an interesting time, as you all, I guess, when you look at the news and read newspapers, or as many of us now use social media to get an understanding of what's happening in the world, you see a lot of things are happening. One of the things that I have had the pleasure for the last maybe year and a half to focus on is the need to begin to have African and Caribbean Americans become more focused on their home, which is Africa. We have had a lot of focus over the years on Pan-Africanism. We have all, those who want to admit it, have been brainwashed and colonized, and we don't understand the importance of it. Everybody understands the importance of Africa, except for sometimes the sleeping diaspora. But nevertheless, it's time to awakening the diaspora. That's the project that through the Tourism Board and with the help of Soul City, we've been working on awakening the sleeping diaspora, which is the sleeping giant, actually, which is the African diaspora. There are two brothers that I have been able to develop a relationship with, one before all of this and one in the midst of it, that has allowed for me to understand that we are moving in an energy that's very incredible. We're beginning to focus on who we are and who we're not. The first brother that I would like to bring on is a brother that has been on the show once before. and we came together because of healing, holistic healing concepts and relationships that we had. But he's a master percussionist. He has played with everybody from Madonna to Michael Jackson to the Blind Boys at the Apollo Theater. Um, he's been on all of the TV shows. He is such a bad percussionist that a company, and I named a drum after him, just like you have Air Jordans, you have you have drums now named after this brother. Uh, he is putting together a new piece. We're going to talk about that, but more importantly, for me, at any rate, is his relationship with Senegal. He has a strong relationship with Senegal. We'll talk a little bit about that. And we are looking at putting together information so that Americans and Caribbean and African Americans begin to understand a lot of different things that are happening. One in particular is the Senegalese Jazz Festival that takes place in May in St. Louis. So we'll talk about that, and if we're lucky, we might even have the coordinator, which is trying to get on for that uh, part of this conversation, Remy Sack. But nevertheless, please welcome my first guest, Mr. Leon Mobley.
Peace and blessings, my brother.
How you doing, Leon?
I'm fine.
You have to be. Leon is in paradise. He smiles. Once you reach a certain point, you can ride in the sunset. This come out when it's necessary to do what you need to do. but
Yeah.
but nevertheless, man, talk to us a little bit about what's happening briefly, because I want to also bring my brother. Um, and
Okay.
Grammy nominee.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but
Yes. Good.
give us a little bit of information about what you've been up to and what you
Uh,
plan to be up to.
okay. This past summer, I toured Europe with Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals. That's the band I play in. Been playing in for 30 years, and we toured Europe and did some concerts in Canada and the west coast of United States. So that's what I've been doing for the summer. Now we have a couple of dates with Harry Styles at the Forum, the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, starting this week. Be there Thursday evening performing with Harry Styles. We're opening for him, Ben Harper, and Innocent Criminals. And in the meantime, in between time, I'm always working on my project. I have a new CD with a bunch of friends of mine, and we're all working together to make this music happen. I have a new CD. It's featuring a lot of friends from different bands. I have people from the Marley family. I have people from Third World. I have people from Fishbone. I have people from Kamasi, Washington. I have people from many of my friends are playing with me on this album. I have a drummer from Living Color, Will Calhoun playing, and it's a lot of fun. So I have a new CD that I'm working on, and I actually have a track that I like to play for you, just to,
Yes.
if you
What?
want
Why
to hear
don't
it.
you? What we're going to do
Hmm.
is to do that so that we can get a touch, and this is going to be really out because this is a preview. It comes out in around the first of December or March.
Well, no, the end of December. We're talking about the end of the year.
Okay, so it
Yes,
should be available at the beginning of 2023.
right. And if you like to pre-order, you can go to my website, leonmobley.com, and there you can
And we'll get
subscribe.
to we'll get to
Yeah.
that before you leave. But make sure that
Okay.
you, and if you could put that up someplace so that we can hear. So we're going to hear a preview of
Yes, sir.
something that has so many different people into it. And then we're going to bring up my brother, so don't go away, Craig Harris, who just have been nominated for a piece that he's
That's
doing. So
wonderful.
so
That is
this is going
fantastic.
to be a great show. So
That's
stay tuned.
fantastic.
Please put your stuff
All
on.
right, here you go. Here you go.
This song is dedicated to the women. We must love and respect and protect the women. For we all come from the women. Love.
So that gives us a sampling of what is to come. And the reason why at this point I'm going to end it because it gets into what this is all about. It's no coincidence. If you listen to this music, and we're going to bring on Craig, if you listen to this music, you begin to understand how music will be able to become that glue, start draining that diaspora back into where it's supposed to be as it relates to understanding where it comes from. So this is an example, and it's no coincidence. Let me bring on Craig. Let me bring on Craig so that we can get a piece of him, and then because I want to have some time for us to do some exchange conversation too. So what I would like to do now is to start to talk about my brother, who's my neighbor, who traveled with Soul City and myself, the Harlem Tourism Board, to Senegal. And he knew so many people in Senegal. We would see Craig maybe at dinner or breakfast. He said, I'll talk to you later. But an incredible brother does things in the community. He brings jazz to Harlem. Much of it is free. Many of the concerts that Craig has done in churches were better than any jazz concert. I mean, with strings, with the whole 9 yards. He done a piece with Muhammad Ali, saluting Muhammad Ali with dances and the like. And like you, because you studied with the Senegalese, the head drummer of the Senegalese ballet, and Alatunji and those. Craig, when you talk about, the Pharoah Sanders and so many other very creative artists, Craig comes out of that African component of it. And he has just been nominated for a Grammy. And that's one of the things that I said, when I heard that, my brother, with all of the stuff that you're doing, you're going to elevate people, no matter what it is. The nomination is it, because with the nomination, people are going to understand your music, no matter what they could say, it's there. And that music is the exact same message in kind of maybe a different, but not too different way, but the energy is the same. And that's the beauty of being able to have you two brothers on. Craig Harris, can you give us a little bit of information about who Craig Harris is?
Hello, Tony, and hello, Leon.
Peace and blessings.
It's nice. First time I met Leon, and I'm sure we run with many circles. I want to correct something you said, Tony, but I want to keep the enthusiasm on it. We haven't been nominated yet. What it is we started the campaign to be nominated, and so the first tier of the campaign is this: you have to have a campaign so people, the members of the Grammy will nominate you for the first round. I want to correct that, but
Right.
it's still, you know, it's still powerful because we've been busting our butts for the last 3 weeks, and the voting ended last night with the Grammy voting members only. Then we have to wait. We have to wait for 10 days, and then we're going to see what was the results of that, and then they'll let you know if you're nominated, and you go to the second round. They got 2 rounds to go. Mm-hmm. And I want to correct that, but in that process, it has been incredible the amount of attention that the new recording, which is entitled "Managing the Mask," which we did last year with the band Harlem Night Songs, and it comes from being a Harlem resident and committed to the liberation of African people. We play in Harlem every week, as you know. We have different concerts every Friday night at Mount Morris Presbyterian Church from 7 to 8:30, and Tony's been to many of them. And that's our cause, to keep the music to the people, Tony. And I've been around for a while, and my first time going to the continent of Africa was with Sun Ra. And we went to the Festac, and I stayed, hung out with Fela and them every night in Lagos. And that's when it really got to my attention about the connection with Africans on the American continent, connecting with Africans on the African continent. And it's been a lifelong journey since then.
Well, again, brother, I know that both of you, after this event, because obviously I was just a vehicle, you know, I was used as a vehicle to bring you two together, you know, on Soul City, which is all of this, you know, we all have our roles here.
Well, you that high
mine is a connective role. I got to bring all of the forces that are out there that's been prepared. You know, I got to harvest the crop.
What instrument do you play?
I play trombone. I'm a trombonist composer. I've been around New York scene for a long time. Recently, I just composed the film score for Judas and the Black Messiah last year. Okay. All right. I've just, you know, I've worked with I guess you can go all the way from Sun Ra to the Roots, all the way that kind of range. And mostly I have what, 15 recordings out. So I've been around a while, Leon, and it's glad that it's just happy to meet you. And my connection with Senegal came in 1980 when we went with Abdullah Ibrahim. We went there to play, also known as Dollar Brand. And I met, that was my first time going to Senegal. And then years later with my friend David Murray, we worked with Duda and Die Rose for a long time. And Duda was like my father. That was my father.
Yeah. My first trip to Africa was 1978, I think. It was 78. And I was in Senegal and studied with master drummer Ibrahim Kamara from the National Ballet of Senegal, and worked with many, many artists in Senegal. And my sister was there, who actually lives in Harlem now. Performing. Natanju Baladi, Cassell, who is the lead singer from Sweet Honey in the Rock. And my other sister, Marie, she lives in New York. They were together in Senegal performing. So
we have to
where are you based?
To have her on the show. We got to do that. So we'll talk about that later. I just don't
want to forget.
I'm originally from Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Okay.
But I live here in Hawaii.
Okay.
I lived in Los Angeles for many years, so I played a lot with Pharaoh. Okay. I even played with members from Sun Ra's group. The saxophone player. Man, names. Whew. I've met so many people. So many names.
But it's good the world has brought us close together, you know.
Definitely.
You know, And there's a Senegalese brother in Hawaii that's teaching class. I forgot his name, but he's teaching class. He's teaching sidebar classes there.
Yeah,
I know
that's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go on.
Okay, yeah. I've been working with the brother. It's oh, he lives down the street too. They have the African Dance Company here. I perform with them. I even performed when Black Lives Matters came here with them. We do the Pan African Film Festival. I perform with them. Oh,
It's good to know, but it's just good to know y'all are there, and it's so beautiful, and it's why, like Tony said, this vehicle, because it's about our connection with the diaspora, like we said.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to bring all the culture here. Like I'm gonna have a drum camp. I'm gonna have a drum camp here, and I'm gonna have Sheila E. teaching. I'm gonna have Pancho Sanchez teaching. I'm gonna have Ibrahim Kamara students coming. I'm gonna have master drummers and from different cultures all here in Hawaii for a weekend class workout and make it a diasporic travels. You know what I mean? The people
Craig,
here, Hawaiians,
Craig, you and I have this invitation from my brother to come out there. So can I extend my invitation to Craig, so at one of these points that we both could come out?
The more the better. Okay, the more the better.
Matter of fact, I can hear Matt say, "Yeah, well, we can film something out there too from Soul City." So we might have to get a tent.
Most definitely,
it's a beautiful place.
But the other thing, there's someone that was close to myself and my colleague Laura Williams on that Coleman, and I believe you both had kind of a relationship with Arnett also. So it's just interesting how we all are being put into this growth pattern to the point where it's time for that to connect into. But everything that we've talked about, and with many people also, it seems that even though it seems like we're individually doing what we need to do, and percussions and the elephant doing his thing, we call him the elephant. Now they call him, now I understand that. They call him the elephant because if you see him with his trombone, But
yeah, that's Sheikh Tidiane Seck. That's what Sheikh Tidiane Seck. That's the great Malian keyboard player. That's who he calls me, the elephant.
Yes, I've worked with him too. Come on.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. You see, what takes place in my understanding of this master plan is that each of us, and there are many others who may be watching this, who have been in their own environment groomed for a certain thing in order to represent a certain thing, which is, as Kwame Nkrumah said, I may not be born in Africa. He's saying it, or he said, you may not be born in Africa, but Africa is born in you.
Yes, indeed.
And no matter how we look at it, that seed is coming. And Craig, I mean, even though you said that you're only in whatever the phase is, the bottom line is you have put yourself in a position where people will understand, a lot more people will understand what we know about how great your talent is. And Leon, the same with you, brother. I mean, and for you two to have connected, of course we're going to say, yeah, well, you know how they got together.
Well, how is that, Tony?
So Matt and I are going to take a little bit of credit. We said, yeah, we had a show on Soul City, and that hooked up Leon Mobley and Craig Harris, and we went to Senegal, or when we went to Hawaii, Craig, we were able to do X number of things that allow for something else to happen, because all of this is part of something else. You know that, brothers. I mean, we of course have to do our thing or whatever we're going to do, but it's really to prepare a foundation for some stuff that's going to be way past what we could even think about at this point.
right? You know, I haven't talked to the people in Senegal in a while, but the plan is it's really for me. It's another time. It's time for another Festac. It's time for the whole diaspora through all the world to come back to the continent and for 2 weeks, like they did in '66 and like they did in '77, and just get together and prepare the next two generations, because that's how I got. That's when I got there, I saw everything in total. I said, okay. I knew before, but then when I got there, I said, okay, I see this connection, this worldwide connection.
And you know, and Matt McCoy, whose marketing is, you know, his thing, he was born for that, I believe. I don't know what the time frame would be, but I think that the time for the conversation is almost what you were saying, Craig, about, you know, the Grammy. It might not happen, but the fact that it is in the position to happen creates a wave that we ride on, because that was what was given to us by the Creator, and we have to use that in order to move further. I believe that if we can put our minds together, because there are a lot more brothers that you guys know that have that connection with Senegal and have that understanding that, hey, if we focus on this event in May, it could be the beginning of what's going to happen the following year, but at least we have to start focusing on it so that people can start to understand that this is something that can be that entity that brings the diaspora together.
You know, I've done a lot of West African drum classes and drum dance workshops in the United States, all over the country. I have sponsored people from Africa. I brought people. You know, some of my students are working with Angelique Kidjo, so there is that understanding there of wanting to bring the two together as one. You know. So I am very, very open to making all this a part of the community of drummers and musicians to make it happen. I have a brother, Sipo Kunene, who lives in New York, drummer guy who's doing fantastic work, you know, with Harry Belafonte. You know, that's a combination of two different people from parts of the world doing music together. So, you know, yes, I'm open and ready to work. And like you said, Tony, there are other brothers and sisters that are ready and open to do what it is that we're doing. And I'm ready, open to work on it with you, Craig, and you, Tony, to make this happen.
And the bottom line is that to start planting the seed, because we know it with the right, getting to the right ear, with the right financing, that this could be a hell of a thing based on the talent that you guys know. Just you guys, you know, whether it's local, whether it's national, international, just, you know, what you know. And then when you spread it out to who they know and what they have become based on the influences that you have and those who you have stood on shoulders of, if that concept can be kind of generated into an area, you know, it's like when you have the magnifying glass and you want to, you know, pinpoint something and get the energy there, you know, it starts a fire. If music, people like yourself and others like you say, hey, okay, let's focus on this place, Senegal now, but then it can be, you know, Ghana again at another point. They already tried that, or Nigeria or some other things like that. But using music as that conduit to begin to bring the diaspora together. I think that's the idea.
It's timely. It's timely. It's that time. There's a woman named Greer Smith. She's in Kingston, New York. She has an organization called Trans Art, and she's starting this process. They're working. I'm working with her with Baba Neal Clark and Christopher Sullivan and Nala Waldron. We've been and and it's time for us to revisit. And it's, as Leon, I don't know if you've been in New York recently, but like 116th Street, we call it Petite Dakar because the like it's right there. And so
that's where I go get my food every time I'm there. I go get my food. I get my buffet.
That's where I am right now to show you how I'm in the Kalahari. So,
Yeah.
And so
I saw Matt asking about Geneva. Geneva is a dancer. Yes, I know Geneva. I played with Geneva years ago, maybe 25, 30 years ago in New York.
Yeah, she has
dance class.
Yeah, she has a company. I've been in her presence many times, but I don't know her. I don't know, but she works a lot with this group called the Urban Bushwomen that's here.
That's right.
And they where they are? What's that? They're outside of Dakar. The guy Sobaba Day. He calls it Sobaba Day outside. He has the art college, but what is the name of the town? I forget the name of the town. That's where he's at. But in fact, she's coming here to do some great work soon.
Nice, very nice.
So there a lot of things are happening, and as I said before, the way they're happening is good to have it recorded because people would not. It's almost like a fairy tale. All of these things happening. You make a wish, and then all of these things come. Right now, as we speak, in Senegal, there's a brother who is an international photographer. His name is Robert Ellis, and he's taking pictures throughout the world dealing with African issues or whatever. He's staying with Sonny Moore, who and who because we visited Sonny that was there, who now is developing a place where there will be like a 10-room B&B where people can stay and do things. All of this happened, but the understanding of the connections, as I was saying before, and this goes on and on and on and on. We've known each other. There are people that we know that know each other, and we just haven't been able to create the connection of the dots.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's happening, Tony.
You said it. You hit it right on the head. The timing, and
it's
to
happening.
Begin to trust each other and share. And if you're doing something, and I'm doing something, how can we do it together in some kind of way? Because if I'm powerful, you're powerful. If you're powerful, I'm powerful.
Most definitely.
Craig, how can people help you at this particular point? And what would be the best thing to do other than just talking about it? And of course, you want to get managing the mass, but give some direction on that. What's your thoughts?
Spread the word. To spread the word because the word is still the grapevine. As we said, you get on the grapevine, use social media. We sent out the link. You can just keep sending out the links throughout, and because that gets into people's ears. Because there's the voting members. I don't know all the voting members, and so you have to just spread the word, and the voting members will hear about it. Because as we know, social media is so powerful. And that's
I know a few voting members.
Yeah.
I know quite a few voting members.
Yeah,
spread the word.
I'll send you the music, Leon. I'll send you the music, and you got to just spread the word. And that's like powerful shows like this, Tony. This is how people work. Like my publicist, April Silver, Kelly Work Song, and Daryl, my manager. They've been working to really spread the word, and it takes a team. It takes a team, to just get going.
But
a lot of artists don't know that, Craig. You know that. A lot of artists don't know that it takes for an artist to make it in this industry. You need a team. You need a publicist. You need a manager. You need an agent. You need a lawyer. You need all these people working to make everything happen for you. It's not just about you and what you do. You as an artist should be concentrating on your art, not trying to be the DJ and be the, the manager and be the publicist. No. Develop a team. Make that happen. All you artists who are out there listening to us, because trust, I didn't know it for a long time. I'm talking to you from experience. And now that I have manager and people in place, things really take place, happen.
And it's a team, and you can't list them all, but they all know, who they are. They and they're working toward to making it happen, to make things happen. So Tony, that's the best way. And and you call in favors and people who are in positions to help you. Just like, it's like this is something we always do. When you get through, you always leave the door open for somebody else to get through.
And I tell you, something, and how life is. We have to act as if something bad happens sometimes, because if something bad happens, you're gonna get people gonna know about that from South Carolina to wherever. Oh, you hear what happened to him? You hear what he did? But we have to switch that,
exactly.
Good happened, and use that same track, that people use, because but I think it's something else too. This is just my personal belief, but I think that we're in another flow here. I believe what you two brothers are doing, and the fact that you're here now, is that there's something bigger than us. What we're doing is going to enhance that. That's why we're here, but what your creativity is and your connectivity, Craig, what your creativity is, your connectivity, what mine is, what a Matt McCord, many other people who will come, it's for something bigger. I truly believe it's the awakening of the sleeping giant. That's the time that we're moving into, because all that we've talked about today is how two different people who don't even know each other or didn't know that they know each other know more about each other than you would think, based on the way the connectivity and the way that's the mind of the universe has worked. And so, of course, Craig, as soon as I found out about this, I was on the phone. I even called in the morning. I said, "Hey, man, what's going on here?" And Leon, when I first talked with you, I knew that there was a connection. I said, "Damn, man, something about that brother." Before I even knew he was famous. You see, that's what really impressed me. I didn't know, who he was. What's the name of the drum that's named after you?
It's the Remo djembe. That's the drum that I designed. The Remo djembe is the #1 selling drum in the world.
When I talk about Leon, people don't know, but then when I had to write down the name of the drum, I say, "Yeah, he designed that." They say, "Oh."
Yeah, the djembe is very popular instrument.
The djembe. So, but all of these things mean one thing, though. We have a platform that can educate and allow for not only artists, but young people that look like us and understanding where we come from. And no matter where you are, whatever the brainwashing is, the music that both of you play unlocks that. It's in you, and you begin to unlock, the stuff that Craig has been able to put together, those things that at the church. But Craig did an event, I think it was before the pandemic, because I know it was at the church with strings about breathe.
Right.
Oh man. So to be able to bring those things together and have a Soul City to be able to allow for people to know that there's a lot more Craigs and Leon out there. We just have to find ways to bring them together. And when that happens, hopefully, let's start looking at May 2023 in St. Louis, Senegal, as one of the focal points to see what we can do to galvanize people to want to go to Senegal for about 2 weeks, partly in Dakar and then partly in St. Louis, with a structure around music in both of those places. Because through Senegal, your brother-in-law Mohammed Sheikh, and he has a foundation there. So is Craig. Maybe 2 or 3 days there, then go over to St. Louis, and they're doing a special program for Randy Winston, and his wife for two is Senegalese also. So Ron Scott is working on that. So there are a lot of things happening. We just have to try to pull them together because there's not a lot of time. But I want to thank you, brothers, and I want to first, Leon, because I know you need to go back to sleep because it's early for you. Just say a couple of words, what you would like people to know, how they can reach you, all of the stuff that you need to do, and Craig, of course, my neighbor, my brother. I want you to end up giving people the same thing. Okay.
All right. Well, my website is leonmobley.com. I'm available for recording sessions, performances. I perform with Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals. We tour all over the world. It's a pleasure to be here. I have a new CD that's coming out. It's a combination of friends from many different bands and many different organizations. And then I have another CD that's coming out after that, which is 100 drummers. And I'm using Mohammed Sheikh and many Senegalese drummers, djembe players. I have many American players together. We're doing a whole combination of a track. I have Will Calhoun. I have the Escovedos. I have many people on this CD. And you can find all this information on my website, leonmobley.com. Sign up for my subscription there. Get all the email information about me, and we'll just make it all happen.
What's the name of the CD that you're working on now that we played a piece of? Did you have a name yet?
No, I haven't named it yet. It's just right now. It's called Leon Mobley and the Lion, Djembe and Music.
Okay, all right. So we'll come back to that by the time it comes out. Of course, we're gonna have to do another segment about this too. Because we got to get our guy from Senegal, the Jazz Festival on. So I have to ask you guys to commit one more time so we can get Mr. Sack from the
Tony,
festival
anytime.
My
Tony,
brother Craig Harris, one of the elephant. Talk to us about talk to us, Craig. How can we support what you do in Harlem on the weekends and your album, and tell us about how we can help you.
Presently, you can go to the website craigsharris.com. You can go to our website to find out information about me. We have an organization called Harlem Jazz Box with 2 X's.com. We give weekly concerts in the community, which is very important to me, that we keep our art forms in our community going strong. And you can go to our website. That's harlemjazzbox.com. You can support the new recording by Craig Harris, myself, entitled Managing the Mass, which was written during the pandemic. And that is called Managing the Mass, Harlem Night Songs. And you can just support the people in my community. You can just visit us and just keep this going, because it's arguably one of the great African centers of the world, between 110th Street and 155th Street, arguably. And that's where I do my work. And Tony, just thank you so much. The links to the songs, you can get the links. You can just get the links and keep the buzz going. It's all about just talking to each other.
Well, between talking and the drum, you got Leon here. So Leon, between the talking, and he said, I don't want to get past. He did say I don't know. I don't want to get political and get you thrown out or anything. But Leon did say he knew a couple of people who were voting. So I just want to bring that out. That hopefully somebody he could say, look at this film. It's gonna be this is gonna be on the Harlem Tourism Board and Soul City Facebook page. So direct some people to see how this brother, not only is his music good, but his heart is good on both sides of the water. Now some people you might not be able to say that to. They might not want them to be, but you know who you can say that to, and who you know. Some people you just say he's a good musician, and let him go with that. But I want to thank both of you brothers. It's a tremendous pleasure to be around such creative geniuses, and you both are masters of your craft. I'm envious. I never had that. I always wanted to be, but I just never had that tenacity to do that everyday practice. And if I couldn't be good, it wasn't used to be just doing it. So, but I envy you guys who have created a situation where this is your life, and you are able to bring a certain type of energy based on what comes into your mind into your music. I try to do that in writing. I try to do that in some other things, but we all have our ways to try to do that. But I'm just so glad to have been able to bring you together. I know that there hopefully will be a time where, Leon, you might be able to have Craig into some of your stuff, and Craig, you might be able to have Leon.
And vice versa. And vice versa.
And
it's always good to meet new people.
And I look forward to that. And hopefully, again, I'm gonna be trying to do my best. I'm not the marketing expert and trying to talk to the right people, but if we talk to the right people, we can do something in Senegal in May. I know that because all of the pieces are there, all of the talent is there, and what isn't there, I know you guys know, and I know Matt knows also. So I'd like to focus on that, have another show around that, before it gets too late to try to bring Marami on and to talk about what's going on and how we can help. So thank you, brothers. I'm going to let you go, and I appreciate you. And Craig, I want you to hear this now. We all we have to do is to get to Hawaii, because my brother said we could sleep on the couch. You got a pull-out couch, right?
Yes, I have two.
You have two. So all we have to do is get there. So we have to work that out, around some musical stuff and all of that. So
when you come, Craig, you got to bring your trombone, bro.
He goes every place. He doesn't go any place without that. We were in Gory Island.
This is my recording studio.
When we're on the plane, Greg said, "Hey man, you need to tell them I'm bringing this trombone on, and you need to tell them that that's my baby, and I want to make sure that when I leave here, I got it."
Right on. Because this is my recording studio. I just did Stephen Marley's new album here. I mean, this is the spot. So when you come, we're gonna do some recording together. Okay, bro?
Okay, Mobley.
All right.
Okay. All right then. So that I'm glad that I got me a partner here. Take care, my brothers.
All right. Okay.
And at some point, I'm gonna have to, because I'm gonna have to see Matt McCoy in Soul City. So at some point, we're gonna have to figure out how to get Soul City out there to film some of the stuff.
There it is.
So
I
can't leave Matt out, because he'll probably do something to the film here. You gotta know, when the wizard is bad, Oz is a problem. So we got to stay on the good side of Matt McCoy. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate your time.
All right.
Thanks, Tony. All right.
Thank you.
Next week, we're going to have some interesting things going on, because that is the last week, I believe, because election day is on the 8th. Those who don't vote, I mean, I understand all of that. I at one point was there myself, but where we are now, we will need, a lot of people came out with Obama because we're facing something a lot worse than a lot of people understand. There is an attempt. You think it's bad now. You think, and it is. I mean, we there's a lot more that we need to do and have and all of that stuff. But if we don't do something, there's some people that are really crazy. I mean, if you look at some of the stuff that's going on, this stuff don't make sense to nobody, no matter who you are. And it's not the solution, and I understand that, but I mean, you see what happened with even when you do vote, sometimes there's a task to try to get that away. But if it didn't make any difference, it wouldn't be such an effort to try to make it not happen. You got to understand, people died to have this right. And the reason why that wasn't the case, because it can be an important factor in trying to look at laws and things that affect the lives of people. So we want to try to focus on that next week. We have the marathon coming up. We may talk about that. There's a Harlem Mile. If you're in Harlem, between 139th Street and 110th Street, it's called the Harlem Mile, the Percy E. Sutton Harlem Mile. That's one of the most difficult places before you get past into the 5-borough run, and you hit the wall right there. And so we have music throughout that strip from 139th Street to 125th Street to 121st Street, all the way down. So runners are energized, and those runners who are slow runners, they stop and dance sometimes just as an excuse to kind of rest. But that's going to be on the 8th. And one last thing, for those who are in New York, the City College of New York will have Scare Fest, which will be Halloween. And that event is going to allow for young people to go through the caves of City College. They have caves, and the theatrical students are dressed up. And it's going to be a very interesting thing. If you pick up the Harlem Community News, harlemcommunitynews.com, you'll find out information about it this week. I'd like to thank Matt McCoy for allowing for us to bring this show on today with those two brilliant brothers. Please support them. Leon Mobley, Craig Harris. You can Google them, get their information. They are brilliant in what they do. They have a connection to Senegal. We're going to Senegal in December 8th to the 15th. And we're starting to make plans for the May trip for the Jazz Festival. It will be a longer trip. We'll be in Dakar and in St. Louis. So stay tuned. Thank you all. This is Tony Rogers signing off. I hope all is well with everyone. Take care. Bye.
This is Kia Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Urbanology.